Hello, you're watching Love and Film. My name is Jamie, and I'm excited today. We have another actor, performance actor, just actor in general, from Grand Theft Auto 5, probably the biggest game of all time. Grand Theft Auto 5. We have Shawn Fonteno, who is, of course, Franklin. He goes by Solo. He plays Franklin Clinton in Grand Theft Auto 5. And I can't wait to talk to the guy. I mean, GTA 5 is a game that came out when I was just turning 14 years old. I remember getting that game like it was yesterday. And my teen years were dedicated to that game. So it's just so cool to actually be talking to another person from the game. We had Ned a couple of weeks back. And we've had a good few people from Rockstar Games now. We have had Roger Clark, we've had Alex McKenna, we've had, of course, Ned Luke, as I said, and now we have Shawn Fonteno. So I'm excited to get into this. So without further ado, let's get into the interview. Hello, Shawn or Solo? What do you prefer, man?
Shit, either one, it don't matter, dog.
Ah, cool, man. Solo's a cool name. It's good to meet you, man. Thanks so much for coming on to Love and Film. It's a pleasure. I'm a huge fan of GTA 5. Franklin was, he was a great character to play as. I mean, that game came out when I was just a kid. I was 14 years old. It was the best distraction, coming home from school. It was just a whole other universe, and that was a big part of that was the performance you gave in that game. It was so immersive, man. So I'd say my first question would be, how did you get into that world, that Rockstar Games world? Because I'd imagine as an actor or anything like that, that's probably a hard thing to get into, even audition speaking.
It was really by a friend of mine named DJ Pooh, man. He hit me up, man, and asked me to come to our audition. And I kind of, was hesitant on doing it. But I trust the process when anything that he's doing, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when he asked me to come to the audition, he kind of had to force me to do it because I didn't really want to do it, because you got to understand that he was he said to a video game stuff. He didn't say Grand Theft Auto 5. We really didn't know that we were doing Grand Theft Auto 5 till shit like a year into working on GTA 5. So it's not like
Whoa.
somebody just picks the phone up and say, "Hey, um, you want to come audition for GTA 6 or 7 or 8, whatever it is," then you hell yeah, you're gonna be like, "I'm on my way. Where do I gotta go?" You know what I'm saying? But he just said a video game. So at that time, my mind wasn't thinking, GTA anything. So I just was like, nah, not really. But he kind of forced my hand and like, come on, bro. I wouldn't let you down. So I went to go do the audition. Long story short, man, and shit, I got picked. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's where it all started from, man. Sometime in life, man, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, man, and I mean, it must have been crazy secretive. A whole year not knowing what you're working on too. That must have been crazy. I mean, did they have like a fake title for the game or anything like that, or was there any hints here and there, like, oh, you gotta steal that car or something like that?
Oh, nah, nah, nah. It was. I mean, I didn't have no hints or anything that Rockstar really moves in silence, man. They
Yeah.
they they are the best at what they do. From my knowledge, even though I don't know what other video game creators or other companies do, but I know Rockstar, they really, really like a closed mouth atmosphere, like because they should be so just it be big. Any GTA project is just humongous. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a tight knit, man. Everything is just closed up. You don't know what's going on. You don't know anything about what's happening. You don't know shit. All you know is they handing you a bunch of pages of script. Just here, sending them to you, and you studying the lines and you trying to figure this stuff out. And you just, try to do the best performance you can, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what does a Rockstar Games script look like? I mean, Roger was telling me, I interviewed Roger Clark, cool guy, and he was saying that the script for Red Dead Redemption 2 was like the height of a man. I mean, what was it like for GTA? Were you given like little pieces here and there, or was there this huge thing?
Oh yeah, it comes in over time because it took us some years to film this
Yeah.
game. You know what I'm saying? It took us 3.5 years to be exact. I think 3.5, somewhere maybe a little more, give or take. So over time, you get You get pages of scripts like, every day you getting new pages because you're working on a like 3 weeks. You're filming and working on GTA, then you're off for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So you get to come back home and be with your family. And then it's hard because you coming home and shit, and you got all these scripts. You got these pages of scripts at home, so you're trying to hide them and put them up because you under NDA and you can't tell
Yeah.
family members, friends, or anybody what you're doing. What the hell is this? Oh,
All
you
good?
don't see it. Yeah, you don't see it. I just saw something pop up on my screen. But yeah, back to what you was talking about, bro. The script is just it's massive. Like I think we had 3,500, 4,000 pages of script somewhere like that. So that's pretty massive.
Whoa,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, and were they ever changing lines on the day? Ned, I interviewed Ned Luke, of course, you know a lot better than me. And he said, like, sometimes on the day you get a whole new page and things are getting changed. Did that happen to you as well, where dialogue is changing often?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, bro. You can pop up on you while you in the middle of a shoot. You know what I'm saying? They can change something up and give it to you. Now for me, it was a little difficult because Ned and Steven and a few more of the actors in the on set, they were real seasoned actors. You know what I'm saying? And they knew how to read scripts and lock them in their brains real fast and can go right on the set and kind of like pull it off after about 3, 4, 5 takes. You know what I'm saying? And they got it. They nails it. For
Yeah.
me, it was difficult because me not, being a avid, all the time actor and reading scripts. I don't even read books, bro. So I got a real problem with reading anything and remembering it. So once I got told by a friend of mine, man, he was like, "You write raps or do you write anything?" I was like, "Yeah, I used to fuck around and write raps and doing this stuff." He said, "Just treat the script like that." So once I start treating the script and start rewriting what they were sending me, like they can send it to me right on set, and I get about 5 more pages of script, and I'll be like, "Damn, I'm still trying to figure these out." So what had happened with me, the click that changed in my artistry of being a actor was I started rewriting everything that they were giving me. I just wrote it down again because for something it seemed like when you write it yourself instead of reading it, for me, it locks in my brain because it seemed like it's coming from my hand and it comes right in my brain and then it start clicking to me. I start remembering a lot of stuff, bro.
Now I'm the same, man. I mean, reading books, even I like to pretend I read books. You know, my girlfriend when she first came to my house, and she's like, "Oh, there's books everywhere. Do you read?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll read. I don't read, man. You know,
You got
I
you
watch
got you
movies.
got you
Game
gotta make sure
Changer.
you
Yeah, I
get
saw
that,
this,
bro.
man. Yeah, I read Game Changer, man. What's the book about? Is this just your story as how you started out and how you got into acting and how you fell into this? I mean, huge world that is that game. Like, it's not just a video game. It was a cultural moment.
Yeah, my book is just not about my game, about the game, Grand Theft Auto, bro.
It's
That's
about
just a
you.
yeah, that's a chapter in my book. My this is pretty much close to my life story, bro.
Yeah.
It's telling you everything from a kid all the way up till Grand Theft Auto. So you get to read in depth, and it's not long, but it's easy to read. People love it. Once they read it, they say, "Oh my God, bro, shit." I couldn't put it down. I read they read right through it like in a day. I had people call me back say I read the whole book in 2 hours. I was like, wow. And they said it's a great book. So this book is my life story, bro. And it just tells you in depth on what I've been through in life because to me, I feel like I've been through pure hell. Being through a lot of stuff, man. It starts off with me as a kid being abused, by
Sorry
I
to
had
hear
a
that, man. I'm truly sorry to hear that.
yeah, I had a stepfather that was real physical abusive to me, like whooping me,
Yeah.
not no sexual stuff like that. I've
Yeah.
never been through any of that type of stuff. But as far as physical getting your ass beat for and you're a kid, you 8, 9 years old, that's the last thing you want is to be physically hurt. You want to be physically loved, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
um I'm I want to say I'm thankful for it, and I'm not thankful because it created who I am today. You know what I'm saying? It made me be more of a stern person because I'm not physical with nobody. I'm not like I'm not mean to my family members or anything. So it made me not want to do the things that I've been through in life. You know, I don't want to put that on my kids or my family members or anyone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So good thing that I was one of them type that took things and didn't want to do it to someone else, because a lot of times what happens to someone, they do it to the next person. You know, they abuse their kids or they keep going with it. The cycle just keeps going and going and going. But it's not in me to be that way. So got to
Wow,
check the
man.
book out, man. I got to get you a
Yeah.
copy, bro.
Thanks for sharing that with me, man. That's super personal. I appreciate that. And I mean, I can't pretend to, presume to know what that book is about, but I can tell from what you're talking about that means a lot to you, man. So, yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
yeah.
thanks for sharing that with me, man. And like experiences like that, I mean, does that help when you're like, even as an actor, if you were doing an audition or something like that, do you tap into things in your life where you're like, oh, I can harness that emotion there and stuff like that and put it into something?
All the time, bro. All the time, man. You know, cause you run through things in auditions, anything, you know what I'm saying? And you can always tap in and learn to just breathe, take your time, or be aggressive or not be so aggressive. So, things that I've been through in life, it worked for me with the actor world, the entertainment world, period. You know what I'm saying? So it did help me out a lot.
Yeah, and I mean that entertainment world. I mean, I do these interviews a lot, and I mean the biggest team I get from people like yourself who are actors, that've been in big things and stuff. It's like it's a very crazy world to navigate through, and it's full of rejection. It's full of like bad people, obviously good people too. Do you have advice for people who want to get into that entertainment industry? Because I mean, I'm an outsider coming in. I'd imagine it can be tough, man.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's not as easy as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
said, man, all I can tell a lot of people is, I hate to say this, but it's actually true in the times we live in. It's not what you know, it's who you know. But also, don't just go off of that like, oh man, I don't know nobody, and so I will never get this shot. I will never get a chance, or I will never be able to do these things in the entertainment business. So what I'm saying is, for me, it was not what I knew, because I didn't know shit about voice acting, voice performing, because you got to understand, bro. Now, voice performing and voice acting is, to me, this is just me speaking. It's two different things. When you got to put a suit on, these tight ass like scuba diving suits and zip up tight up in them, and you got all these things on these distractions all over you, and you got a whole bunch of wires coming from you, and you got a big old helmet on your head, and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a performance, isn't it? It's like full body theater, Like I mean, I've heard from like your friend Ned talking to me about like his experiences doing performance capture. It's every movement you're doing in these cut scenes. It really is you, and a lot of like even the thing the characters doing as you're playing it. It's your actual performance.
it's exactly 100% all of me. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
that's the beauty behind Rockstar, man. They really tap into who you are, your charisma, your style, your walk. If you look at Ned got that walk. That walk, that Michael walk, and he always
yeah,
doing his neck like this, and you know what I'm saying. When you look at Steven with his just gullible, happy-go-lucky kind of rage walk, that's Stephen R. My walk is simple as who I am. So that's the beauty behind Rockstar, bro. When they created these characters, they really, really tapped into who we were as people, not just actors. So
yeah,
they tapped into us. So that's why you get, GTA 5 is so authentic, because they let us be us into their characters. They created Franklin, but they used my image and my likeness and my charisma and put it inside of Franklin. So they let me be me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's what a lot of people fell in love with. So if you fell in love with Franklin, you fell in love with me. If you fell in love with Michael, you fell in love with Ned, Trevor, Stephen R, Lamar, Slink Johnson. All these characters, even my cousin, Melee from San Andreas,
yeah,
you fell in love with Melee. If you was a big fan of CJ, so Rockstar let it be that way. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have us just give a voice to some other persona or some other lifestyle of a character. You know what I'm saying? So that's the beauty behind that, man, and that's what makes Rockstar, at the top of the food chain when it comes to video game creating.
If you are enjoying this show, why not leave a review on Apple Podcasts? Believe it or not, it really helps out the show. If you want to help out the show further, we also have a Patreon, and if you subscribe to our Patreon, a little goes a long way. We have exclusive content there that can help you in becoming a filmmaker. That's so cool, man, because like even me playing the games, I mean, my first GTA was Vice City. I mean, I love CJ was like in San Andreas was again when I was a kid, that was like the game to play, but I never really thought of it like the character in the game is an extension of a real life person, because when playing a video game, you don't think about stuff like that. So you're saying Franklin is an extension of who you really are. Like there's a like more you than Franklin, like the character in that game.
Yeah, it's 100% me, man. And that and to be honest, bro, that's where in the beginning of me filming, it was hard for me to find Franklin. It was hard for me to find the character that they were trying to create because I was in swimming in unfamiliar waters.
Yeah.
I've never been in a motion caption suit. I've never did voice acting work. I didn't expect the things that I expected when I got to the set, to the studio of Rockstar and start working and putting on these suits and dealing with all these people saying what I had to do, what I couldn't do, just the conditioning to be a performer, a voice actor. And the beauty about it, the director, the team, the assistant director, just everybody on the set, they understood that. That was the
Yeah.
beauty of it. They didn't expect me just to walk out there and just get it on like you're supposed to know this. So it took time. I'm not just saying it took a week, days, months. It took time. It took me about a whole good 6 months to a year to start figuring this out. And they could have easily replaced me. They could have easily said, "Hey, man, this guy ain't getting it. We need to find somebody else that's an avid actor. Maybe they can fall right into doing this stuff and remembering their lines and things." But they knew what they wanted, bro. They told me this. The director told me this. We picked you for a reason. We're not giving up on you. So we don't want you to give up on us. Because I tried to quit once or twice, maybe. I think I was just getting discouraged with doing it. Like, this ain't for me. Because
Like
I'm
those
one of them.
self doubts in your head, like, oh, maybe I can't do this, that type of thing.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Like, I'm one of them types that's, if it's not for me, I would rather walk away from it. But I thank God, man. I thank God so much that I didn't walk away from this opportunity right here. And it was a big help from the director. It was a big, big help from him because he made me and he looked me in my eyes and said, "We picked you for a reason. And you're gonna want to play this character." And I just was like, man, fuck this shit. I gotta go, bro. I'd rather go back home and do whatever I was doing, which was a bunch of nothing. So I'm glad I stayed there with Rockstar, man. I'm glad I stayed on the set. I'm glad that director, he don't like his name said a lot, so I ain't gonna say it, but he's a great director. And he forced me to stay, and he made sure that he let me know that it'd be well worth it. And I didn't know to this magnitude that he was telling me
Yeah,
that.
thank God for
Who?
that, man. I can't imagine anybody else playing Franklin. I mean, that is you. I see what he means. Like I'm just thinking in my head, imagine someone else. Like, nah, it's you, man. It is you.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
And I mean, as you were saying, magnitude. Even Ned was saying he expected 15 minutes of fame, and here we are in 2025, and you guys
yeah,
are getting people paying to get pictures with you, and they love you
yeah,
guys. And I mean, I'm a fan as well. I mean, I played GTA every day for years. It was my favorite
yeah.
game when I was a teenager. It was a feel to have that type of a fan base being like, "We love what you did, man."
Man, it's overwhelming, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I,
Yeah,
I mean, where I come from a city, Los Angeles, South Central, Watts to be exactly. I was a hood star, and I don't know if you understand what that means. That's a person that's well known in the neighborhood they're from and through the
yeah,
city of Los Angeles. So I was known through there, not as a like a celebrity star, but a hood star. And I was into the rap game. Me and Ice Cube was good friends. DJ Pool, Snoop Dogg, Exhibit, all these guys were my friends. So I was in the music business.
Yeah.
but not in the music business to the magnitude of these guys. But I was in the music business. But when I got this from Rockstar, man, this like it put me on a level of them, like Snoop, Dr. Dre, all these guys, man. You can line me up right up there with them. With take my video game and put it up to the charts because it's one of the biggest all time selling games of all time.
Yeah.
The gross that it did, billions of dollars, the magnitude of fans that I have around the world. So I'm equal to them as far as the celebrity status. So where it
Definitely. Yeah, man.
so yeah,
Definitely.
so where it put me at, it put me up there, but I'm in the video game world. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing just to know that, that I come from filming this game only thinking it was going to be something that was just going to be short. Ned say 15 minutes. I figure maybe 1, 2 years, 3 years at most. But fucking 13 years, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. 13 years. And to be honest, bro, I see it going on. I see this. I see us being um classified as um like immortalized with this. You know
You
what I'm
are.
saying?
You
Like
are,
like
man. You guys have. I saw on TikTok the other day, dude. You guys have action figures of like Michael Franklin and Trevor. I mean, that type of thing. It doesn't happen to everybody. Even with like the new GTA's coming out, like the sixth game,
yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
still gonna want to be talking about Franklin, Michael, and Trevor because we grew up with you
yeah.
guys, you know. And the game's
That's the
still around.
thing.
And there's new
That's the
generations of
thing.
kids who are just playing it now, you know. And then
Yeah.
they're gonna, you know, as it goes on, which is
That's the thing
incredible.
right there. That's the beauty of what I get. I get 90% of what you just said right there. So that let me know that this game will be that Franklin. I'm speaking from the Franklin character. I will be just remembered forever. You know what I'm saying? Because I get people coming up to me ages 20 from 20 to 30, somewhere up in there 35 saying you raised me. I was raised with you. You kind of
Yeah.
was like you was my mentor. When I had problem, I just go play the game and I was playing the game when I was 10 years old, 12 years old, 8 years old. I didn't heard all the stories. So it's beautiful to know that going around the world. Like I'm getting ready to leave to Lithuania tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting on the airplane, meeting up with Ned, Roger, Rob. We going out there to do a Comic Con, and to see the response from the fans, man. See how they just comes up to us, and you can see the overwhelmness in them just meet us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's amazing to get that feeling. Like I can never get over it. I never get big head enough. Like I'm used to this. You can never get used to it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? That people just, want to come up to me and say hi. I get people that might not even see me in the presence. Like I've walked up to restaurants and say, to a fast food, and I say, hey, I want to give me a number eight with water, and they got their head down typing, and I've seen them like, where do I know this fucking voice from? And then they
Yeah.
start putting two and two together and they like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Just from the voice, bro. They as soon as they hear this, they don't even have to see me. Just hear this voice. You know what I'm
Yeah, no,
saying?
you're up there, man. I mean, if I saw you in the street, I'd immediately run over. Be like, "Hey, man, can I get a picture?" I mean, the game meant so much to me as a kid. I mean, came out when I was 13, and for a 13-year-old lad in Ireland, GTA 5 was like, this was the thing. This was a whole other world. This wasn't boring Ireland with fields. This was Los Santos. You know, you could drive
Yeah.
around as Franklin. You could drive a car. You could stop time. I had this dog I could bring with me. It was just you could do whatever you want, and that means a lot to me, man. That it
Yeah,
was it was
man.
it was my teenage years. Now I want to be respectful of your time, Solo. I know you have things you have to do today as well. But I couldn't let you go today without asking you about GTA 6. Of course, you're Franklin. You were in GTA 5. That was your thing. Did you see the trailer? As in, what do you think as the next step in Rockstar? Do you have any thoughts on the trailer?
Man, to put it this way, man, let me say it like this. I I mean, of course everybody gonna say this. This is the favorite saying that everybody say, Ned and whoever else you have. uh the graphics is going to continue to get better. GTA
Mm-hmm.
6, versus GTA 5, if you line them up next to each other, you're going to notice the big difference in the graphics. That's naturally supposed to happen because 13, 14, 15, possibly 16 years or better of a different system, because you got to remember the game came out 2013,
Hmm.
GTA 5. We were working on the game 3.5, 4 years before that. So you got to say 2010, 2009. So the technology is tremendously different now. You got 4K versus 8K. You got all of these things. So of course the graphics is going to be amazing. I know Rockstar, bro. I know they don't pick any actors. They pick the right actors. They're
Yeah.
gonna pick the right people, bro. So all I can do is just give my input on saying I know this is going to be a brilliant game. I know everybody's going to be in line to get it. I know everybody's going to be locked down at home. They're going to be playing this game. Now, whether it'll be better than GTA 5 or the the acting, the gameplay, the missions or whatever, I think that it's just going to be a great game. I can't say how better it's going to be. I know it's going to be fantastic. I know Rockstar is putting out this time to make sure that it's perfected. They do not fuck around, bro. They do
Yeah.
not fuck around, bro. It's taking this long for a reason. People like constantly, why is it taking so long? We got this before we got GTA 6. We got that before. But y'all got to keep in mind, bro. We went through COVID. We went through GTA 5 online, which took off real big. Why rush
Hmm.
out something else when the online was doing great? It was just blew up. So then COVID hit and slowed things down for a few years. So, we couldn't even work. Nobody could do anything around here. No actors, no anybody. Everybody was just sitting at home. And then
Yeah.
I get a lot of people coming up to me like, "Are you going to be in it?" Man, all I could do is just tell everybody what all of us should tell them. Me, Steven, Lamar, Trevor, everybody. We don't know, bro. We don't
Yeah.
know what's going on. You just gotta wait and see. It's gonna be well worth it. You're gonna be. I mean, I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see what the hell going on. We all are.
Yeah.
When you're asking me, I can ask you the same thing.
I mean,
I
I
just
think they should do a DLC where they have all the old characters come back or something like that with the new graphics. I mean, you could come back. I mean, Young Melee could come back as CJ. I mean, you could do something around
yeah,
that. That's what I would like to see as a fan, like a reunion DLC or something.
yeah, for sure. I think that they should bring us all back. The trio from 5 for sure back for one final mission. I think they
Yeah.
should just call it the finale. Just
Yeah,
something. You know
or
what I'm
instead
saying?
of the big one, you could go for the biggest one or something.
Whatever. Just
Yeah,
one
yeah.
more mission for the fans before GTA 6 come out. You know what I'm
I'd love
saying?
that, man. They could
And
easily update the game and add that in.
I mean, I hope it happened. Knowing Rockstar, man, I don't know what they doing, what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I know that team. I'm a real family member of Rockstar. They called me back for the Dr. Dre the
Yeah.
contract,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was amazing doing that. I was just happy to get back in the studio and go through the process again of what I was did for GTA 5, just getting back in the
Hmm.
suit and getting back to working and doing things like that. That was a good update. That was a real good update. Dr. Dre, come on, man.
Yeah,
Dr.
man.
Dre, Dr. Dre is an icon, man. Just putting Franklin in that online update was just like shit. Thank you.
Yeah.
I felt like mama, I made it now. But
No, us fans loved it too, man. It was great. And as I said, I want to be respectfully a time solo. I mean, for me, interviewing you today was just a dream come true. Like if I went back in time and told myself as this 13-year-old kid playing as Franklin for the first time and just fall in love with that game, fall in love with your character, man, he never would have believed it. So thanks so much for coming on today. It was so cool to talk to you and your
yeah,
experiences and your thoughts on things is super interesting, and I appreciate your time, man.
I appreciate it too, man. And man, why do you remind me so much of Roger, man? It's
Right,
like you could,
we're both Irish, so it could be that.
man, you could be you could be his little brother or something, bro, or something.
I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, why not? I mean, I did a Arthur Morgan impression to Roger while I interviewed him. I was just shaking as I did it, man. I was just like, ah. Oh.
Yeah, man. They good guys, man. Him and Rob, man. Rob, man. Them two dudes that I'm glad I got to meet, and they both cool dudes. Matter of fact, I'm finna be out there with them in Lithuania together. They
Cool,
just
man.
two guys. They just two cool dudes to hang around, man. And I'm glad you reached out to me to do this interview, bro, because sometimes I just be wanting to talk about my experience, and sometimes I don't. You know what I'm saying? I
I
just
get
want to
that,
move
yeah.
on. But I owe it to the fans, and I owe it to you guys that do these things. You know what I'm saying? To come on you guys' platform and let you know my experience, let you know what I've been through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But overall, man, I'm grateful, man, that again and again that Rockstar picked me to be in this video game. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I mean, we all say you don't know nobody else who could have played Franklin. I'm glad y'all feel that way, man. I'm stuck in your head with this
Forever, man.
voice, with this
Immortalized.
voice. Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man.
You too, man. Thanks so much for coming on.
Ah, man, I appreciate it, damn, man. Y'all have a good one, brother.
You too. See you, man. Wow. What a good interview. Solo, Shawn Fonteno. He knows what he's talking about. He cares about his fans. That was a great talk. Man, he was great. You could tell he just cares about his fans, And it's interesting. He didn't say no to being in GTA 6.
This is the insider scoop.
Insider scoop.
Yeah.
Solo,
Yeah.
Shawn Fonteno. He's in
That's,
GTA. No,
it's
he
all
didn't
just
say
for
that.
GTA 6. We're a gaming channel now. What do you think of him? He said you look like Roger Clark. That's probably the biggest compliment.
Hello, I'm Roger Clark. That's a terrible impression. I can do more of it. Sure, Arthur Morgan, boy. Dutch, I can do a better Arthur Morgan than I did on the actual interview. I was just so nervous.
Take it.
Yeah, the proper Arthur Morgan.
Yeah.
Dutch, I have to insist. Here's another one. You ready for this? Dutch, you keep killing folk. Sure. It's not terrible. We did get Stephen Ogg, man. We have Michael. We have Franklin. We need Trevor to complete this holy trinity of GTA 5 interviews.
Look, we're a film page as well, so we don't want to we will talk about everything else, obviously.
I get carried away. Listen, they're actors. That's film,
Yeah, look, there's a crossover. No, Solo though, like he doesn't, obviously he's a busy enough guy, and it took a bit of scheduling
just to get him on, and just to
for our little platform, it really goes a long way. He even said himself getting into, which meant a lot, man. Like
it
him
did.
saying, I like to come on here for the fans and for any of you guys. Like, not every actor says that. It's more, sometimes we're a nuisance to these people. But man, he's done a million of these, so like, I was surprised that he did say yes to us in the first place, because obviously GTA 5 came out how many years ago?
2013.
But I remember watching them interviews like years ago, and he still has the same positivity that he did, that long ago. And even
He did.
more so now, that's still going.
He does, and I'm delighted for him and for Ned and for Steven to be, as he said, immortalized as the characters, because he was even talking about, like, Franklin wasn't just a creation from Rockstar. That's who he is. He is Franklin. So I felt really like I was talking to an old friend, because I grew up playing as him. Yeah. I felt like this was a guy I've talked to 1,000 times.
Who was your main GTA 5 character? Was it
Franklin? It was, yeah. Frank, flip flop between Franklin and Michael. I'm not going to tell Stephen Ogg that. I don't think Stephen Ogg would care too much which character you play. He loves the fans from GTA 5, and people give him a bad rap saying like, oh, he doesn't like his fans. That's not true. Like Stephen Ogg always talks
really
highly.
That trend where it's like, oh, he doesn't like being.
It's not true.
No, it's just it's obviously you don't want to be called your character's name all the time. It's just weird. He's
in loads of things, like he was great in The Walking Dead as Simon, and he was in OCD with Luca Pizzolio, director. That was great short film.
Yeah.
Still love to see that as a feature, guys. Get working on that. We want to see it.
There's no reason it'd be cool to have Ogg on, definitely, so we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But no, man, Solo, like he still has so much passion for that character. He's not like an actor, but you could tell he's passionate. You don't have to be someone that's so. I'm not saying.
And his backstory, he was talking about. He was growing up in his neighborhood with Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. What the hell? I mean, they're not normal people to be grown up around. And it was great. He was talking about where like he's up to their level of fame, which he is, because
'cause
everybody knows who Franklin
You
is.
could tell he was saying that he didn't consider himself at the start. He was like the street, kind of, he's street famous. But now, come on, like
He's immortalized Franklin Clinton. The first time I ever played golf was as Franklin, and he kept saying that line, Chris. You remember? Here we go, over and over.
We'll come to that. No,
it's cool, all right.
What was it? See, like obviously you're a bit older than me, Jamie. On the little bro page, but
a few more grey hairs.
I GTA 5 is my GTA San Andreas.
Yeah.
Probably was for you as well.
It was, because as a little kid I played San Andreas more than anything else, but then I was 13 when 5 came in.
That's really your GTA.
That was, school was so boring. GTA was what I cared about, It was a huge part of my growing up.
Yeah, no, I was too young playing it, but that was why I'm glad I had that though, getting through my teen years, all those poor souls still waiting for 6 to come out. But look, they can enjoy 5.
They still can. Do you hear what he said too? He was like, it would be great if they updated 5 with one last mission with the trio.
I think as an online update, or not even just a DLC, that would be really sweet. Just because the fans are very hungry right now.
They want something.
You're very like, you released the GTA 6 trailer and it's delayed, but look, I think definitely. I just want to see them all in more projects as well. It doesn't have to be GTA, even if they're in more stuff together. I know Ned and Og were in a commercial or something for. Yeah,
they were doing some travel thing or something. It was great to see them together though.
But yeah, man, I'm so grateful that, again. Look, thanks Solo for coming on.
Yeah, thanks Solo, you the man.
Behind the scenes, very enjoyable.
Also, we got our new Love It Film t-shirts. They're not for sale to the public, but they can be. If you're interested, we can sell.
We're working on the Patreon benefits at the moment. It's a slow process because we're just kind of deciding what stuff we want to be exclusive, what stuff we don't. These interviews, of course, they're always going to be free and available to you guys. But we done one with the last one. I think it was Ned. We had it a day early, so we might do that for this one, depending on when our editor gets around to it. Well, he's going to cut this out now. But
he will.
Yeah. No, really enjoyable interview.
Carl, cut out that weird face. Anyway, continue.
In other news, we went to the Lilo and Stitch premiere last night. What were your thoughts on Lilo and Stitch?
Here, look, man. It was some of the best CG I've seen in a while. Stitch looked like a real fluffy 626 alien animal. He looked a bit like the dog. He looked like a dog in a way, but he was also faithful to the 2D animation. But one big thing I have to talk about. Right. Where's Gantu though? Where's Gantu?
Yeah, where's Gantu? That's my biggest gripe, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be everyone's gripe. He is a central antagonist from the first movie because Jumba was Quickly, that's how you pronounce his name. Both of them were kind of false antagonists. They were kind of secondary antagonists, I suppose you'd say. And the whole point was they were supposed to be these fake antagonists, but then they redeemed themselves by helping Stitch. At the end of the movie, spoilers for Lilo and Stitch, at the end of the movie, Quickly, for some reason, is just randomly friends with the gang. There's no reason.
Yeah, there's no development there.
There's no explanation. Of course, Jumba is replaced by the grandmother figure, which she was a fine character, great actress, but
people might not understand that. What Chris means as well with Jumba being replaced, people are like, but Jumba's in the movie. Not really. The grandmother sort of took on his role. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. The role that he filled in Stitch's life, because it was supposed to be him and Quickly forced to go and live with Stitch.
Yeah.
After the events of the first movie, but obviously it's been changed around. Look, I understand it. Movies with multiple villains don't work sometimes, but come on, it worked.
Do you know Zach Galifianakis was brilliant for like the human parts, but when he was the voice of CG Jumba, that was bad.
It didn't work.
That was not Jumba.
I had a conversation with Carol about this, but he said that it's like him and Quickly had the same voice. They didn't actually contrast each other. We both had two annoying.
Just Jumba's maybe 625 like that,
You're supposed to have two contrasting voices, but we didn't get that.
The only voice that was pretty much perfect was Stitch. It's the same guy,
Stitch and the
Grand Councilwoman.
Yeah, she was great. Obviously, the other actress unfortunately passed away a little while ago. But yeah, man, I Stitch literally was my childhood movie. I have a plush still upstairs somewhere. Genuinely one of my favorite animated movies next to Toy Story, and Look, I had a good time.
Me
but
too.
I knew the original was still going to hold up. The last complaint I have.
I know what you're about to say. You say.
So basically, at the end of the movie, Stitch is on the beach with the Grand Councilwoman, and essentially, there's the whole scene.
Did you say his line? Can't touch your pal?
Yeah, so it felt like that last scene was kind of rushed because she says, what's his name? And then he's like, oh, my name is Stitch. There's a kind of a pause moment in that original scene. Didn't happen, kind of just rushed it. But also, the biggest loophole on why Stitch was able to stay on Earth was the fact that the Grand Councilwoman legally couldn't take Stitch away because Stitch was actually adopted by Lilo earlier in the movie. But of course, we didn't even get the scene.
Sorry, Chris, I'm thinking of more problems.
Look,
Nanny would never leave Lilo, all right?
Oh.
That she would never go to college instead of taking care of her daughter. Look, I said it. All right, it's true.
But look, in the original movie, Stitch is adopted by Lilo in the adoption center, which of course happens in the new movie. But we specifically see a scene where she signs the adoption papers, and of course that pays off later in the movie when Lilo basically says, no, he's mine. So they just skipped over that, which is, I think, a pretty big plot hole.
I think so, yeah. There was a good few plot holes because they were trying to avoid. You know, I really loved the new Lilo and Stitch in terms of like the direction, everything about it. The CGI was brilliant. But a big issue I had with that movie is that it was sorely lacking in Alan Silvestri's score. Now, the dude who scored it, I'm sure he put his heart and soul into it.
I think it was a she, maybe?
Was it she, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
So, the score that we got had absolutely no oomph or heart. Like, every time Stitch jumped in that movie, I was expecting like a bum, bum, ba bum, bum, ba bum, but instead it was like a bum. John was like dead in a way. And it was a good movie, but it would be really worthwhile somebody rescoring it with the original score.
Someone's got to do that because there was no rising tension in that. In that scene, in the house scene where they're getting shot.
Where was the Ugly Duckling book as well, Chris?
Oh yeah,
that was a big part. Stitch had this moment where he realized that he was alone. He opened his Ugly Duckling book and he went, "I'm lost," or whatever, And the beautiful Alan Silvestri score comes on, and it's a moment where the audience falls in love with Stitch's character, and they're like, "Whoa, I love this little animal." In the new movie, he just kind of jumps out of a window and walks into a cage and goes to sleep. I can't see how that's better, man.
Of course, we don't want to bash him.
No, there's lots of stuff we loved about the movie.
But look, we're movie guys, and we're diehard fans. But going back to Solo, again from the bottom of my heart, thanks. I need to thank him just for coming on.
Yes, Solo, Shawn Fonteno, you the man. Thank you for coming on to our show. You are just a dude who knows how to hold himself, knows who he is, and more importantly, loves his fans. So, as myself a fan and Chris a fan, thanks for coming on to the show.